You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at lanterns.buzz. For great radio, get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to be a conservative on the college campus. This story from Campus Reform just a week ago in an article by Cassie Dillon. A campus coffee shop evicts college Republicans from quote-unquote safe space. Members of the Fordham University College Republicans group were asked to leave an on-campus coffee shop because their Make America Great Again hats apparently violated the shop's safe space policy. The self-identified president of the student club that runs the shop told the college Republican members that she was, quote, protecting my customers, explaining that you are wearing hats that completely violate safe space policy. Wow. I'm protecting my customers, the president of the coffee shop said. A college Republican member replied saying, we are your customers. We bought something. And then the president retorted, I don't want people like you supporting this club. No one here wants people like you supporting our club. I'm giving you 5 minutes. A student then asked for a refund, to which the president said, you had coffee. Don't try to outsmart me. Whatever that means, by the way, that's insanity. You're threatening the president of them, the president of the like, I guess, the coffee shop group or whatever. It's a student group that runs the coffee shop. Said, you're threatening the integrity of our club. This is a community standard. You're wearing hats that completely violate safe space policy. You have to take it off or you have to go. One of the students then asked the president to explain what she thinks the Make America Great Again hats actually stands for. And the president replied, shouting, fascism, Nazis, you have 3 minutes, as in like you have 3 minutes to get out of my coffee shop. Let's play the audio from this because it's really unbelievable. See, I mean, that's unreasonable. That's the fastest minute I've ever seen. I give you 5 minutes and not 20 seconds later we're down to 4 minutes. So, I mean, the math is obviously off here. Let's continue. I mean, I guess she's threatening to call security. It sounds like you're threatening to call security because somebody walked in, gave you money, and they're wearing a Make America Great Again hat. So let's just do a little recap here, right? By the way, welcome to the Free Stater. My name is Ian Ballinger, and this is our final show of 2017. It's been a crazy year. It really has, guys. It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy semester here at school. Because of people like this, even at my own school. 2018, we're going to get into the 2018 plans for the show in a few minutes. I want to continue here, though, because, I don't know, it's just insanity listening to this. I mean, people actually think you're a Nazi, you're a fascist if you're wearing a hat that says Make America Great Again, or just says MAGA on it, or just has a United States flag on it. It's actual insanity, and it's a shame that it's infiltrated our institutions of higher education, because the mentality that you can't have any wrong think in an institute of higher education or in public in America at all is the exact opposite of what institutions of higher education are supposed to stand for. It's incredibly saddening, especially as a quote-unquote conservative student at a college that, or at a university, should I say, that is generally known for being kind of left-leaning and being kind of unfriendly to conservative groups. Let's continue, though. Okay, so she's threatening them. She even admits to it. She doesn't deny that they're threatening them. And he asks, "Why are you threatening me?" And she says, "Because you're threatening the integrity of our club." Walking in with a political campaign's hat on isn't threatening you or your club. See, this entire thing, and this is what the campus left and the social justice left, this is what they've been peddling. I mean, they've been peddling it for the longest time, but this is what they've been peddling really, really hard for the last 2 years, ever since the 2016 presidential campaign, that speech is violence and personal expression is violence against me. It is violence against these groups. No, it's not. It's not. These guys came into your shop wanting to buy coffee. They came into a college coffee shop and wanted to buy coffee, and you're kicking them out and threatening them, per what I can gather from this video, because of the college Republican group that they're associated with and because they're wearing Make America Great Again hats, right? I mean, she doesn't deny this in video. The college Republican kid straight up asks, "Why are you threatening us?" And she says, "Because this. You're threatening our group." Well, no, they're not. There's about 20 seconds left. Let's just let it play out.
This is a community standard. You are wearing hats that completely violate safe space policy. I'm going to take it off or you have to go. Yes, it does.
What is that?
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Fascism, Nazis. Okay, what do you want? 3 minutes.
I do not see fascism, Nazis on this hat. I see generic.
I mean, how sad is it that we're living in, like a society right now where your fellow American citizen might view you as a Nazi, a literal Nazi, because you're a supporter of Donald Trump? To be honest, guys, Donald Trump really isn't even that conservative. I mean, there's other politicians that are further right-wing than Donald Trump that you could be targeting for your Everybody's a Nazi campaign. It's laughable to call Donald Trump and his supporters Nazis. Especially after what he did in recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The Nazis weren't too fond of the Jewish people. Calling people like Ben Shapiro Nazis, a Jewish American man. The Nazis weren't and aren't too fond of the Jewish people. Or calling Steven Crowder or Glenn Beck or Dennis Prager or Mark Levin, or Gavin McInnes. Gavin McInnes, a Nazi. That's laughable. He's condemned Nazis, by the way. The Proud Boys have condemned Nazis. It's just, everyone you disagree with is a Nazi now. And what's sad is the university systems, they excuse this kind of behavior from these kind of students. Because the university system in this country has no backbone. Has no backbone. The only backbone you're seeing from universities in this country is from students who aren't afraid. Students who identify as both liberal and conservative, by the way. The only backbone you're seeing in this country is from students who are willing at universities. Backbone, I mean, for God's sakes, you're seeing backbone from a lot of other places outside the university system. But within the university system, students that are willing to stand up against this political correctness, this politically correct bullcrap, these social justice a-holes. I mean, there's students I know that identify as liberal or whatever, that think this whole everybody's a Nazi thing, everybody's racist, all men are evil, that kind of thing, think those people are crazy. So, in the coffee shop, right? In the coffee shop. So this is what the coffee house policy says at this college. Rodriguez Coffee House strives to be a safer space on Fordham University's campus, on Fordham's campus. For these reasons, consider the following. Do not make assumptions about somebody's gender, sexuality, race, class, or experiences. Be aware of your own... See, I don't think that needs to be said, right? Look, I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't really normally go into coffee houses. But if I were to go into coffee houses, I would go for coffee, maybe a light Danish, or a muffin. Do people normally go into coffee houses and just strike up? Oh, do you have a vagine or a peen? Anyway, be aware of your own identity while being considerate of the personhood of your peers. Well, I don't know. Are people just generally douchebags at Fordham University? Is this an issue? Be mindful of the ways in which your words and actions impact others. Be aware of the boundaries of other space, physical or otherwise, and respect their consent. No racism, no sexism, no homophobia. If you feel that someone has transgressed this policy, we want you to feel comfortable confronting them or approaching a member behind the counter who is available as a resource to assist you. So nowhere on that policy says no conservatives allowed, right? Nowhere on that policy does it say no baseball caps allowed, no trucker hats allowed. No wrong think allowed. But that's apparently what it is. If you don't think right, you're a racist. Or you're a Nazi, as this girl said. Nazi, 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 fascist, she yelled. According to, again back at the Campus Reform article from Cassie Dillon, according to the Coffee House Facebook page, Rodriguez is the student-run coffee house on Fordham University's campus, which claims it is a relaxing atmosphere for the Fordham community, adding, it's also an event space. A glowing 2013 profile in the Fordham Ram begins by declaring that it is open to all, even reiterating that the shop is the only on-campus club that provides a daily tangible service to all members of the community through low-priced organic and fair trade coffee drinks, as well as an open community space. Open to all, they claim, unless you voted wrong. Then you're a Nazi. University of Iowa. Here's another article from Campus Reform by Nikita Vladimirov. Might have pronounced your name wrong, Nikita. I'm sorry. Christian students claim student told them to revise their beliefs. A Christian student group at the University of Iowa has filed a lawsuit against the university, alleging that the school tried to make it revise its statement of faith before reinstating its official status. Oh, okay. I wonder if there's any other groups on campus that might have problematic beliefs, because as we know, in institutions of higher education in the 21st century, you're only allowed to have one line of thinking. Here's from the article. According to a lawsuit posted online by a public interest law firm, Beckett, the public university deregistered the Business Leaders in Christ, or BLINK, group after an openly gay student accused the group of unfairly denying him a leadership position. In 2016... Okay, time out. Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem? If this group, a Christian group, is Christian, and the lifestyle of one student does not fall in line with that group's philosophy or theology, why should that group be forced to let a person who disagrees with the fundamental principles of that group to lead said group? Would you expect the same from an Islamic group? Or could a fundamentalist Christian be a designated leader for an LGBT group? No, it's obviously just an attack on Christianity, on wrongthink. So if an LGBT student, an openly gay student, can be a student leader for a group in which he fundamentally disagrees with, why can't a Christian student be a student leader for an LGBT group? Wrong thing, guys. You're a Nazi. In rendering its decision, the university singled out the Christian beliefs in Blink about sexual morality, finding that these beliefs on their face were discriminatory and impermissible. In a 42-page document, the group acknowledges that in order to guide its work, it adopted a statement of faith describing what it means to be a disciple of Christ. The statement of faith embraces traditional Christian doctrines, including those concerning the supremacy of the Bible, the unity of the Trinity, and the availability of salvation through Jesus Christ. The lawsuit states, noting that the statement also provides teachings that help members with their careers and encourages the use of financial resources and personal talents to serve the community. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good group to me. Sounds like a bunch of upstanding young men and women getting together trying to better themselves in their community. But the University of Iowa didn't see it that way. According to oh gosh. We're losing our college campuses, guys. The group also notes that the university has previously conceded that it must allow other religious students to select their own leaders, while stressing that Blink is being targeted because the university has animosity towards its religious beliefs. Pro-choice groups can reject students who are pro-life, the law firm writes. Feminist groups may require members to support their cause, and environmental groups can choose leaders who support theirs. But even though Blink allows anyone to join, the university is discriminating against it for requiring its leaders to embrace its missions and beliefs. In a statement to Campus Reform, Media Relations Director Ann Bissett countered that the school does not tolerate discrimination of any kind, noting that it provides access to a wide variety of religious student organizations. Okay, Ann? Okay, time out. This is what Ann said. The University of Iowa represents or respects the rights of students, faculty, and staff to practice their religion of their choice. During orientation, new students are invited to learn about the 20 religious student organizations on campus and the worship opportunities in the surrounding community. Okay, Bassett also stressed that the registered student organization must adhere to the mission of the university, the University of Iowa's policies and procedures, and all local, state, and federal laws, and that the school had determined that Blink violated University of Iowa's human rights policies and Iowa's Civil Rights Act. I'm so sick of hearing these human rights policies supposedly being violated. There was another case up in Canada about a professor who violated a policy on human rights or something like that in a Canadian university, and she was reprimanded. She might have lost her job. She was a teacher's assistant or something like that. She was at risk of losing her job or being expelled or something like that because she played a video wherein a debate was happening. And one side of the debate said transgenderism was A-OK, and one side said maybe not. But even just playing the other side, she was accused of perpetuating violence on the college campus. I want to know why we're allowing these people to take over our university campuses. It's becoming absolutely ridiculous. Grow a backbone and defend your campuses. Okay, real quick. End of the show here, real quick. 2018's coming up. Going to take a couple of weeks off for Christmas. Go home, see the family. I don't know how much I'm allowed to divulge to you right now. All I'm going to say is expect a big 2018 because we're kind of rebranding the show and repackaging the show and trying to make it new, trying to make it more fresh, and trying to, like I said, kind of trying to rebrand it and just trying to make it a new experience, not only for you as an audience, but for me as the host of this show. And I've had a lot of fun in the time that I've had this semester creating this show, and I'm looking forward to coming back and talking with you all again in 2018, where we launch a new season of The Free Stater with Ian Ballinger right here on the Lanterns Radio Network.
Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Breitbart.com. A jury found 7-time felon, 5 times deported illegal immigrant Jose Garcia Zarate not guilty in the case of the 2015 murder of Kate Steinle Thursday evening. And the only count he was found guilty on was felony possession of a weapon. 32-year-old Kate Steinle was shot and killed on a pier in San Francisco in 2015 while walking with her father. Her final words were pleas to her father for help as she died
in his arms. Garcia Zarate faces a maximum sentence of 3 years for the weapons charge, according to Joel Palick. But the time Zarate has served thus far will likely be factored in as time already served on the sentence, meaning he's likely going to be released soon. Garcia Zarate, previously known as Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez, previously confessed to shooting Steinle in a jailhouse interview with ABC News, a local ABC News affiliate, that is. And he also told the outlet that he had chosen to go to San Francisco because he knew it was a sanctuary city. Breitbart News reported an ICE official told Breitbart News that ICE enforcement and removal had begun processing the suspect for reinstatement of removal from the U.S. in March, but instead Lopez Sanchez was transferred on March 26 from the Bureau of Prisons in another city to the San Francisco Sheriff's Office, SFSD, because of a drug warrant. ICE then filed the detainer request to be notified prior to his release from custody. Let's just be clear about something. This entire story disgusts me. It disturbs me, and not for the reasons it should. We've become, and I say that for a reason, we've become so, I feel, desensitized as a society. That a story about a daughter dying in the arms of her father, that's not the part of the story that bothers me, because we see stories like this happen all the time with Las Vegas, and we'll get to the Las Vegas thing in a minute. Welcome back, by the way. December 1st is our date today. Welcome back to the Free Stater. My name is Ian Ballinger here on the Lanterns Radio Network. Had a short little hiatus. Finals week is coming up. Be lying to you if I said I wasn't crazy busy, but that's life. I wanted to talk to you today. Maybe I've just become desensitized. You know, maybe it's just me, and that should bother me even more. Seeing the text on the story, "Dad, help me," which were her final words, "Dad, help me," as she died in his arms, put a lump in my throat. But that's not the part that disturbed me down to my core. The part that bothers me the most is the reaction to the verdict. Garcia killed Kate Steinle. He admitted to killing Kate Steinle. Jose Garcia Zarate killed Kate Steinle. He stole the firearm and killed her. He is a 7-time felon, 5-time deported illegal immigrant in the sanctuary city of San Francisco. A father held his daughter as she died in his arms, and the left's reaction, at least on social media, has been in defense of illegal immigration rather than comforting words for the family. Slate tweeted out a story today, undocumented immigrant. I hate that. Undocumented. Just messing with words to create sympathy. Undocumented immigrant acquitted of murder in a case Trump used as an anti-immigration rallying cry. How do you defend illegal immigration when it is what killed this woman. If it wasn't for sanctuary cities like San Francisco, Kate Steinle may very well still be alive today. Kate Steinle is dead because of leftist sanctuary cities. Kate Steinle is dead because of an illegal immigrant. Kate Steinle was murdered in cold blood, and her killer, an illegal immigrant, got off free despite the fact that he shouldn't even be in this country. And if you look on Twitter, the left is defending the verdict. They don't care that an innocent woman whose final words were, "Dad, help me," is dead. They don't care that her family is left here to grieve while the killer gets to go free. They just care that their precious sanctuary cities are still intact, and that an illegal immigrant isn't going to prison. I've seen on Twitter people saying that if Trump ever gets around to building the wall, he should do it in Kate's honor. Let this be the turning point. How many times have we said that? Let this be the turning point after this tragedy and that tragedy and that tragedy. Let us come together as a nation. How many times are we going to say that? I want to believe that indefensible things like this can wake people up and be a turning point in America where we do come together on common values and decide, hey, you know what? Maybe these sanctuary cities aren't a good idea. Maybe just letting everyone in isn't a good idea. Maybe, just maybe, those crazy conservatives aren't against legal immigration, but only illegal immigration. But the far left, there are people who describe themselves as liberals that I know that I wouldn't consider leftists, so don't mistake what I'm saying. I want to repeat that. There are people that I'm friends with who define themselves as liberal that I would not consider leftist. So let me be clear when I say, no more deaths. Don't worry about leftists, what they'll say of you. They don't value life. They value political points. We value life. And we're not going to sit idly by while more innocent men, women, and children are murdered. While innocent Americans are murdered. So don't be afraid of what leftists say of you. Get out and vote. Get out and speak out against illegal immigration. And remember Kate Steinle, because the left refuses to for political reasons. And as an American, that should disgust you. Because Kate Steinle's life mattered too. It disturbs me to see a story about a father who had to watch his daughter die. And it disturbs me to see a portion of our country seemingly defend the killer. All for political reasons. Let's consider for a second, because I was reading a Daily Wire opinion piece by Ben Shapiro. Let's consider for a second that it wasn't murder, that it was an accident. Intent doesn't necessarily matter. You can still charge him with manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter even. In California, involuntary manslaughter, this from Shapiro's Daily Wire article, is a killing without malice, without intent to kill, but with reckless disregard for human life. And the distinction between involuntary manslaughter and excusable accident is participation in either an unlawful act not amounting to a felony or a lawful act involving a high degree of risk of death or great bodily injury. So, here's Shapiro's article from the dailywire.com. dailywire.com. There's no the. So, I want you to go to the Daily Wire because it's a great website. dailywire.com. On Thursday evening, a California jury ruled that Jose Inez Garcia Zarat, the illegal immigrant who killed Kate Steinle in San Francisco, was not guilty of murder or manslaughter. Zarat had been deported some 5 times in the past, rearrested, and then released again despite federal request for detention. Since San Francisco is a sanctuary city, local law enforcement refused to reply with the request and let him go instead. The verdict, Shapiro argues, is not reasonable. Zarat was charged with second-degree murder, but jurors were allowed to consider the possibility of involuntary manslaughter. Now, the second-degree murder charge required the prosecutors to argue that Zarat had intent and that he was playing some sort of mental Russian roulette before shooting. That's a stretch, given that the bullet did bounce off the pavement before killing Steinle. But involuntary manslaughter requires no such intent. In order for the defense to prevail, they had to argue that Zarat simply found the gun lying around, picked it up like an idiot, and then accidentally fired the gun. Afterward, he threw the gun in the bay because the noise scared him. That's not believable in the slightest. In fact, the jury even acknowledged that Zarat was guilty of felony possession of the firearm, which had been stolen days before from a federal agent. It's hard to imagine why he committed a crime in possessing the firearm, but not in firing it recklessly. The verdict is also irrelevant to the general question as to whether whether or not he should have even been in the country at all. It's insane that he's been deported 5 times, and that if he had been an American citizen subject to California's legal system, he would have been in prison rather than on release. California has a 3 strikes law, so repeat felons are subject to longer sentencing. President Trump won the election based on the pledge that he would prevent crimes like this. Now's the time to push both the Trump wall and a stronger regime of enforcement against illegal immigrants who have committed crimes. End of article. Let's be clear about something. One of the reasons Donald Trump was elected was because of his promises to build the wall and to be stricter on immigration. I want a wall. I really, really, really want a wall. I know a wall won't fix all our problems. Probably won't even fix half our problems. Build half the wall. And just put forth stricter laws and I don't know, man. It's just everything's so messed up. It's not just immigration. It's not just this Steinle thing. There's so many things that are just so messed up. It's exhausting. I've been dealing with these cultural Marxist professors at my school. It's just all so exhausting. It gets tiring after a while dealing with the social justice activists and leftists who don't have any regard for the facts of these cases. And I'm saddened, I'm disturbed, and I'm exhausted by it all. And to Kate Steinle's family, I don't know what to say, except I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm sorry that the legal system wasn't in your favor. I'm sorry. Our prayers are with you. No father, no family should have to go through what you've been through, or what you went through on the pier that day. Zarat shouldn't have even been in the country. I'm just sorry, and I'm to other families that have been affected by illegal immigration. I'm sorry. There's countless stories of people murdered, raped, kidnapped because of our weak southern border. And words can't possibly describe what those families must be feeling. Because there's a political agenda that is seemingly excusing it. Maybe some sort of justice can come from this. This story from The Blaze just a few hours ago. New story, new update on it. The Department of Justice issued an arrest warrant for Jose Garcia Zarat, the illegal immigrant who was acquitted of the murder of Kate Steinle by a San Francisco jury on Thursday. Because of rules against double jeopardy, he can't be tried for the same crime twice, but the Department of Justice can arrest him for other charges. The DOJ is amending previous charges in light of Zarat being convicted of felony possession of a firearm in the Steinle case. According to DOJ prosecutors, they believe they can prove this in violation of probation ordered against him in 2011 on one of the 5 occasions he entered the country illegally. Since San Francisco is a sanctuary city, the arrest warrant from the Department of Justice should assure the local law enforcement authorities remand I'm having a stroke, I'm sorry. Remand custody of Zarat to federal officials after his sentence for felony firearm possession. ICE Deputy Director Tom Homan declared their intentions in an interview with Fox News, saying, "Let him spend some time in prison. When he's done there, we'll deport him, no doubt about that." The act could have been partly in response to the public outrage over the jury verdict that found him not guilty of manslaughter or murder in the case. Bill O'Reilly summed up much of the opinion when he demanded that Jeff Sessions charge him with serious immigration violations. Sessions' statement on Thursday only blamed sanctuary city policies for the death of Steinle and didn't hint at any further action against Zarat. Well, Sessions is right about that, at least. Sanctuary cities kill. Make no mistake about that. Sanctuary cities put American lives in danger. And if it wasn't for sanctuary cities, like San Francisco, Kate Steinle may very well still be with her family today. Best of segment coming up next. You're listening to The Free Stater on the Lanterns Radio Network.
You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Hey, it's Ian Ballinger from The Free Stater here on the Lanterns Radio Network. Now, most people listen to the show when it goes up every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, or even on your iPhone podcast app. But you can also listen to the show over at lanterns.buzz. That's lanterns.buzz, where the show plays on replay every weekday and weekend at 11 a.m. Central Time. Every day throughout the week, you can listen to the replay of the show on the lanterns.buzz radio stream. Aha! 11 a.m. Central Time and 3 a.m. in the morning. Just fantastic times. If you're driving out late, you can listen to the show. And if you're waking up in the morning, driving to work, going to lunch during work, whatever, show's available for you to listen to right there on replay. That's lanterns.buzz. And while you're over there, I encourage you to check out some of the other great shows that the Lanterns Radio Network has to offer. You've got Bells of Liberty, Todd Huff Radio, Battle for Freedom, Patriot Politics, Defenders of American Exceptionalism, The HoloNet, Fires of Liberty, Battlefield Live, The Conservative Syndicate, and many other special programs. You may have heard back during CPAC even, they did a huge live stream, continuous coverage of CPAC. Go to lanterns.buzz for great content. We're here to fix the machine, lanterns.buzz. Hey everyone, we do not have sponsors, and by we, I mean me. I don't have any sponsors. So I want to take this time to tell you about some projects that are always at the top of my list and in the back of my mind. They're fantastic projects. The NazareneFund.org. For several years, ISIS has invaded peaceful communities in the Middle East and painted the Nazarene symbol on the door of people they seek to convert, extort, or murder. While ISIS uses the Nazarene symbol to symbolize death, we use it to symbolize life. Mercury One is a U.S.-based humanitarian aid and education nonprofit organization that established and administers the Nazarene Fund. The Nazarene Fund aids in the restoration of Christians and other persecuted religious minorities in their communities who have been targeted by ISIS for their faith. I want to make it clear, I am not endorsed by Mercury One. They have not paid me to say any of this, and I'm not directly affiliated with them in any way. Be that as it may, I think that what they're doing is extremely important, and I want to share it with you. So rather than push a sponsor for you right now, in large part because I don't have one, I want to share their mission with you and direct you to where you can go to help. Now, in 2014, the Christian community in Syria and Iraq were facing the greatest calamity in its 2,000-year history. The Islamic State, ISIS, exploded out of Raqqa, Syria, the capital of its self-proclaimed Islamic State. In a lightning strike that surprised the world, ISIS forces captured Mosul, Iraq's second-largest city, and all of nearby Nineveh plain, the traditional homeland of the region's Christian community. What followed was a campaign of extortion, murder, and displacement not only of the Christians, but of other ethno-religious minorities in the region. By 2015, a population of 3 million people was reduced to only 300,000. Most of them displaced from their homes and fleeing to other countries. In August of that year, Glenn Beck took the stage, and the Restoring Unity rally in Birmingham, Alabama, declared the situation for it was genocide. Mercury One donors immediately responded, and the Nazarene Fund was launched with the goal of rescuing 400 families. No one at the time that realized that a movement was born, and over the course of the next 18 months, Mercury One has far exceeded its original goal, and the numbers speak for themselves. 1,290 families rescued, 5,202 people saved. Fortunately, the tactical situation is changing. Coalition forces have liberated most of Nineveh. Mosul will soon be under Allied control. An attack on Raqqa is imminent, and Mercury One is shifting its focus from rescuing to rebuilding and restoring the lives and communities of these persecuted people. We're so happy to shift this focus from providing immediate basic care for individuals to rebuilding and restoring communities by funding projects that will have a future impact on health and education for years to come. Mercury One funded projects include a medical clinic in Lebanon, a medical clinic in Greece, school in Beirut, Lebanon, a school in Athens, Greece, a mobile trauma center in Acre, Iraq, a trauma center in Al-Qush, Iraq, a community center in Nitra, Slovakia, and a transport van in Brazil. As their mission continues to evolve both internationally and at home, please continue to support all of Mercury One's efforts by donating now. To donate, go to mercuryone.org
or the NazareneFund.org. It's a great cause. They need your help. If you're able to donate, I encourage you to donate. I encourage you to go, again, the NazareneFund.org, and donate if you can. God bless. Laus Deo. I want to talk to you about the 912 Project. Now, this is something we've discussed on the show a lot. And I mean a lot, and it's something we're going to discuss on the show a lot more. At the origin of America, our founding fathers built this country on 28 powerful principles. These principles were culled from all over the world and from centuries of great thinkers. We've distilled the original 28 down to 9 basic principles. And if you believe in at least 7 of them, then we have something in common. They've also added 12 values that represent the qualities of those who founded our country. If we can all live by these, we believe America can get back on course again. Now, their advisory board consists of some amazing conservatives and amazing people. Yvonne Donnelly, Maria Acosta, Michael Pelka from The Blaze, Stephanie Scruggs, Mimi Steele, Aaron Wilson, Jason Roberts from NetFusion Studios. All these people promoting the 912 Project, and I encourage you, this valued listener that we have here on the Lanterns Radio Network, to go to the 912-project.com to find these principles and values on their webpage. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. We're trying to start the 912 movement again. At least I am. And again, I want to make it clear, not endorsed by these, but by this organization. I am not sponsored by them, but I believe that their mission is important. And what is their mission? The 912 Project is a volunteer-based, nonpartisan movement focusing on building and uniting our communities back to the place we were on September 12th, 2001, the day after America was attacked. The day after America was attacked, we were not obsessed with political parties, the color of skin, or what religion you practiced. We were united as Americans, standing together to protect the greatest nation ever created. Our goal is to bring us back to that same feeling of togetherness again. Our mission is to inspire individuals to connect with their communities through education, service, and dedication to the 9 principles and the 12 values to which we have committed. To find these principles and values, go to the 912project.com. That's the 912-project.com. The 912-project.com.
You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.